Texans fans, stop scrolling right now. We are witnessing history in the making. Our defensive cornerstone just got the ultimate recognition. But the price tag to keep this wrecking ball in H-Town is about to shatter every NFL record. Let's get straight to the heavy-hitting facts. Will Anderson Jr. has officially been named a finalist for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award. After a monstrous campaign where he racked up 12 sacks and completely terrorized opposing quarterbacks, the league has finally put the respect on his name that he deserves. This isn't just hype, it is validation for a player who transformed our defensive identity the second he was drafted. However, with this elite performance comes a massive financial reality. Anderson is now eligible for a contract extension, and the initial numbers being discussed are absolutely mind-blowing. We are not just talking about a raise, we are talking about a market-resetting bag that changes the franchise forever. But before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? Now, let's deep dive into the financials, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Insider reports from Heavy indicate that Anderson could command a historic deal worth between $40 million and $45 million annually. Let that sink in. $45 million a year. That is legitimate quarterback money for a defensive end. This deal would likely surpass Nick Bosa's contract and make Anderson the highest paid defensive player in the history of the sport. Is he worth every penny? 100%. He is the heartbeat of DeMeco Ryans' scheme. But this creates a fascinating challenge for the front office. General Manager Nick Caserio has to structure this perfectly to ensure we still have cap space for the rest of the roster, especially knowing C.J. Stroud's payday is looming in the future. This is trench warfare in the negotiation room, and the Texans are about to pay the premium for greatness. Let's contextualize what $45 million a year actually looks like for the Houston Texans. When you look at the current landscape of the NFL, having an elite pass rusher is the second most important asset behind a franchise quarterback. We have seen teams like the 49ers and Steelers invest heavily in their defensive stars, and it pays dividends in the playoffs. Will Anderson Jr. isn't just a sack artist, he is a run-stopping force and a locker room leader. Losing him is not an option, so the checkbook must open. However, this massive extension signals a shift in the Texans' team-building phase. We are moving from the rebuild with cheap rookie contracts phase into the contender with expensive stars phase. This means the margin for error in the draft becomes razor-thin. We can no longer afford to miss on mid-round picks because those cheap contracts will be essential to balance out Anderson's mega deal. It also puts pressure on the coaching staff. When you pay a defensive player this kind of money, the expectation is not just making the playoffs, it is winning the Super Bowl. The defense must be top 5 statistically every single year. Furthermore, this sets the tone for the entire locker room. It shows that if you come to Houston, buy into the culture, and perform at an elite level, you will be rewarded handsomely. It is a massive recruiting tool for free agents who want to play for an organization that takes care of its own. So while the sticker shock of $45 million might be scary, it is the price of admission for a Lombardi trophy. Anderson has earned it, the fans love him, and now it is time to lock him up for life. Stay tuned, Texans family, because this offseason is about to get expensive.